Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting and riveting and amazing, spectacular Propagandacast from your host and Paul.A.D, the one, the only master of propaganda, hero of psych, defender of the fatherland. Off you to a glorious 1v1 on Faymonville Approach in North is, I believe, Paul.A.D pretending to be Panzergrenadier Angreifen, but it is not Angreifen himself. Finding here, on North it's Caosak, in the South it's Paul.A.D pretending to be Angreifen, my apologies there. Didn't quite get as much sleep as I'd like to last night, so my mind is slightly wobbly there. But anyways, in the South, Paul.A.D fighting for the German army, Deutschland here with elite armor, Overwatch and Feuersturm forming up the Panzerdivision. North it's Caosak with America Freedom, Democracy here with the 3rd Armored Division, tasked with clearing out those goddamn Krauts and opening up a way to Berlin. With mechanized groups, reserve armor, cavalry riflemen, mortar half-tracks, combined arms, triple infantry bulletins there versus Panther 4 and infantry bulletins there for Paul.A.D. We got the Sturmpioneers Rifle Squad, Kuhwagner heading south to assist here, forming up a small battle group here for Deutschland, looking to hit Caosak hard here. Kuhwagner more strong there far, but the Sturmpanzer need to get more close, I think, to really do any damage here more effectively. There he goes, the Kuhwagner draws in the far, the Sturmpanzer is not, though he's trying to use the cavalry to close in on the rearsense first, using it, the Kuhwagner's bait, but now he's getting us surrounded here. He's going to have to back off, I think, before that ends up costing the Kuhwagner or the Sturmpioneer. Didn't quite pan out here for Paul.A.D in the end, too slow, I think. He close to losing the Kuhwagner, in fact, super close. Very close call. Sturmpioneer is also close to being wiped out. Not the greatest serious engagement there for Paul.A.D. We got the Volksgrenadier heading northwards there for the German army. Deutschland, the Panzerdivision. Caosak here looking like he might be planning a fast lieutenant here, or a fast captain. Also got Paul.A.D here with Overwatch, featuring the Jaeger Light Infantry Recon Squads, early warning systems for the fatherland, leichte Feldhaubitze 18 artillery, and the sector assault. Second Volk Squad out there, plus fast tech here, sandbags up the northern field point. Back here, Caosak is also going for the fast lieutenant. Grand point of the Rifle Squad. We've got the Rifle Squad heading for the western point as well. The Grand southern point here with the re-echelons. So, Carl, yeah, how's the weather? You got anything more serious to talk about? We might be attacked by the Germans any time. Well, I was just trying to, like, lighten the atmosphere. Well, if you don't shut up, I'll lighten your skull. Filtering towards the center with the head there. We got filtering from the northern point. Truck ready there. Probably a battle group headquarters. Could also be a fast mechanized right here for Paul, but seems like a battle group headquarters. We got the lieutenant almost down there for Caosak, Freedom, and the Democracy. Ooh, looks like a very aggressive battle group headquarters coming up around the center. That is definitely a bit of a rare strategy, something that reminds me much more of the early Oberkommando West strategies here, which tended to feature a lot more aggressively placed battle group headquarters. Now, is he actually going for that, or is he just doing something else with it? A bit hard to say actually now what Paul is planning. Northern pointing seized by the Volksgrenadier squad, running about here, gaining the re-echelons. Sneaking about there, we'll have to see, but again, if he sets up the battle group headquarters, that would again be very something much more reminiscent of the early Oberkommando West, when that was an incredibly powerful strategy. You just rush in and then set up the battle group headquarters in a really annoying point. But no, pulls back here, so is it a rally point that caused this, or was there some other reason here behind Paul.A.D's maneuver there? It's hard to say. Oh, we got the cavalry rifle there for Caosak, Freedom and Democracy. Immediately equipping them with Thompson so they'd get something, slightly bigger than the grease gun. Though technically, I mean, they were basically sort of, firing the exact same ammunition. Like, the only difference with the Thompson was heavy and more expensive to make compared to the grease gun. Others, they're, firing the same ammunition. Probably the Thompson may have had a slightly higher rate of fire, but even that I'm not entirely sure about. There you go, flipping take with the 10, the Rifle Squad, need to treat those soon. We got the M20 for Caosak. In fact, the grease gun was again an attempt to make a cheaper Thompson. Also easy to produce, which was also a bit lighter, obviously. We got Cavalry track from the Volksgrenadier here, taking Volks 5 from the Sturmpioneer, getting mentions 1. Volksgrenadier, they're being pushed down and out. M20 there for Caosak. Jägers out here for Paul.A.D. We got the battle group headquarters up, the Kampfgruppe Hauptquartier. Sturmpionier doing what they can against the Cavalry, focusing down here with their Sturmgewehr 44. Also known as the MP44, which was basically its unofficial designation before it got the official name of Sturmgewehr 44, though that was pretty much all that changed the name. Fun fact there. Kuban grabbing the point here. We got the mechanized upgrade there for the Belgrave headquarters, like a fast flak half track here, or fast 251-17. M20 pursuing the Kuhwagen. No anti-tank ones here, of course, for Paul.A.D means he's got no medium weight of stopping his M20. That is like what Caosak is banking on, utilizing the fast and aggressive M20 to throw off Paul.A.D's timings, in this case, destroy the Kuhwagen. You could even try and lay down mines, so I don't think he's going to do that. Most American players tend to be a bit shy when it comes to mines. Around Northern Point here, Jaeger's hiding out there. But there you go, spotted by the M20, folks. Get off of Panzerfaust here. Moments away from a flak half track, and there we go, got the Panzerfaust off here on the M20, damaging the engine. Not enough to finish it off, they will need a second Panzerfaust, but the other folks squad is tied down with the 10th Rifle Squad here by the Northern Fuel Point. A lot of back and forth action here between Paul and Caosak. And there you go, 251-17 away there for Angreifen. One of two variations on the 251, though, the later one which had a, shall I say, more of a turret to the half ticket itself, didn't have the armor sort of pop down the sides. Smaller modification there. But later see itself replaced by the 251-23, which featured the flak drilling, which is basically a spare machine gun from aircraft that they didn't use for the aircraft anymore, as they upgraded to bigger weapons and sort of used as an anti-aircraft gun. Got Caravana getting the full Jaegers and the Sturmpioneer, but that set Sturm punching a lot of damage, backed up by the Jaegers. Caravana now hosed down with heavy casualties as follow. Only Sergeant Rupert Manley survives. Bravo squad then moving about. Got the flak half track out there for Paul.A.D and the Panzerlehr Panzerdivision. Most self-propelled flak elements in any German unit would have been likely either mounted by way on half-tracks or on trucks. In fact, the vast majority would have mounted on trucks. They did also have a few mounted on, I believe, cars. Like, for example, some, I believe in North Africa, they had to have some cars equipped with 2cm flaks on them. Fun fact! Too close to the Carabao squad there, taking a bit of damage engine. A bit awkward. M20 rushing in here. Got 2 kills, veterans 1 on it already. We'll have to see what follows up. We got Caosak there with a 50 cal, the Mardeus. Very good. Do we have any mines here from Caosak? The answer to that looks to be no. But there you go. Nice work here salvaging, or at least trying to salvage here, though Caosak puts a stop to that. No salvage. Under American supervision. You either buy a new product, or you don't do anything at all. Gotta protect the corporation's bottom lines. That is the American way. Anyways, we're heading over on the way there for Paul.A.D. Medic's almost on there for him as well. Sneaking about with the Rive Squad heading westwards. Flak half track heading northwards. And there we go, we're heading over ready. Raketen was a mine-produced weapon. It was basically the result of once they captured the bazooka and, was like, okay, let's make our own thing that's bigger and better. They sort of had like two sort of competing designs. One was the Raketen, the other was the Panzerschreck. In the end, they ended up producing both, but again, Raketen in small numbers because they realized the Panzerschreck was better. Like, why hold it around on wheels when you just have a guy hold it around much more easily? So, like Raketen, that was produced in small numbers, primarily used, I think, the fighting makers and other units that required, more accessible light artillery in a sense, but, the Panzerschreck easily won out. North here, point being seized there. Jaegers was the 50 cal, Flak half-tech joining as well. There you go, 50 cal crew suffering heavy losses. Rearson charging at the Jaegers. Got veterans 1 and 7 kills on them so far. Very good there for Paul.A.D. So a bit painful there for Caosak, though Caosak is certainly leading in other ways. Back here, nothing further going on there for Mr. Caosak. Paul.A.D's base also remains silent. I mean, he's not going to be taken up anytime soon, so that's great for Caosak. But he's not going to be immediately pushing out any medium armor anytime soon either. Nice hit from Kenry from the M20. Wild Squawk charging the Flak half-take. We've got Squawk flacking in there. Flak half-take getting surrounded. Oh, that's going to be into tank self-charge there. He's trying to avoid it. Close call there. Close call. I don't think we can expect Paul.A.D to pull off any anti-tank satchel shenanigans with that. Got the full looking out there for Paul. Sturmpioneer about, got 10 kills. Veteran 2 stood light tank here for Caosak, adding more light armor rather than trying to push out an armor. It's a bigger armor. He's trying to utilize his current advantage and going for more light armor. Definitely a possible tactic there or strategy, and definitely not necessarily wrong. Obviously, requires you then handle it fairly well. But if you can make it work, you can be powerful enough to prevent your opponent maybe from prolonging the fight. So, don't think that's the wrong choice, in particular considering the fuel leak Caosak already has. In these situations, just pushing advantage now can be a strong move. We got more Jägers out here for Paul.A.D and the German army, the Panzerdivision. M5, he wants to do a light tank almost down there for Caosak. Ralph's got holding about there. Got 2 kills on it. Benson's one is close by, but not quite there. Kevin close, sticking close as well there. Lieutenant Party, but the flak half tack taking heavy fire. The tree is suffering worse, and the squirrel side of it suffering the worst. Squirrel limbs flying all over the place. Northeast, Ralph's got the flank out. The Volkskriegs can maneuver there by Caosak, quickly occupying the mansion, and the Volkskriegs exposed out in the open. In the centre, Cavalry now also, well, routed by flak fire. Suffered a wipe down the 5th count. That's it. Paul can't get his hands on it. Stood moving forward here. The Kevin turning around, but it's too late. The Steward is all racing forward here. Bypassing Paul.A.D's front line. He'd like to scream for the flak half tack. The Kevin gets a good hit, but the flak half tack is at a high chance being destroyed here unless he Pantherfaust maybe forces it to back off, and even then, nothing's going to happen. Good pop. Oh, he can't pop, so that's the nick for him. There you go. Flak half tack down. If he can get rid of the Steward, though, it could still be seen as a small win here for Paul.A.D, but even then, it's going to leave him in a bit of an awkward spot. He loses a great tool for dealing with Caosak's infantry. Got Reason moving 40, 50 cal has been crewed up, but Ralph's got in there. He's closing, he can't pop the Pantherfaust now, but he's not doing it, he's not doing it. Ah, it's a Pantherfaust. Ludwig, it's a Pantherfaust. We're not into movie fury, we have some. And a wipe. I don't know what wrong there for Paul, but then did cost him the full Canadian squad. Maybe the stress, maybe something going wrong there. I don't know, but the Pantherfaust just never happened. Instead, the unit got wiped. A painful blow there to Paul, and also means the Steward light tank gets away. But there you go. 2 Jaeger squads moving in there with the G43 marksman rifle. Close to getting wiped here, but looks like it will escape. 5th cal also pushed back. Cavalry moving forward here for Caosak. Quickly retreating as well in the face of the Jaegers. Quite good for an aggressive style of attrition against the opponent, which is why a lot of Oberkommand's players do favour them. Plus, of course, you get Sector Assault, which is obviously just a really, really popular ability. I mean, anything just like lockdown there with big aircraft tends to be fairly popular because, you know, just, you know, fire and forget almost. In particular, Sector Assault has a bit more of that built into it. Probably should have retreated the other units a bit slower than the Kedenwerfer. Risky there, second Kedenwerfer for Paul. He's starting to worry about, you know, more armor out here of Caosak, but also probably wants that Steward very dead now. It's knocked out his flak half tack, resulting in the loss of a Volkskrieger squad. He wants it destroyed. Should salvage the flak half tack, of course, for munitions, and if possible, the Kuhwagen is still there, so grabbing that would also be a good idea. Could allow him to slightly push it and take faster. Caosak following up with a mortar, going for a broader combined arms suite. Very good. Thumbs up there to Caosak. Very sensible, and there goes sounding the flak half track. Jaeger's advancing on the center. Can begin taking up soon. Going. Oh, cancel the mortar, I think. Oh no, it wasn't cancelled. It was because he was going for the weapon racks research first, and then the mortar was, of course, just queued up. Should have realised that. My mistake. M20 moving up here, taking some light damage from the ME-34, but only light. Northern point being lost there to Caosak. May want to grab the southern viewpoint fast. I mean, Paul definitely needs to like push their armor faster than he currently is here versus Caosak. Much faster. More sitting out there. Lieutenant stinging about there as well. Quick pop the antenna up his rounds, and there you go. Paul finally taking up. 20 rushing south. It's Ralph as well with the BAR. Mortar's going to make much harder for Paul to maintain this position, so he can just bombard the machine inside the house. But there you go, got the M20. Good killer for Paul. A bit of a blow there to Caosak. Obviously not as big as losing the Steward, but still hurts him a bit there. Loses a great tool for harassing, disrupting, scouting as well. I mean, you know, he could also lay down mines, so I do not think Caosak man with the duel, which, you know, is a bit of a shame. A bit of a shame, but who knows, maybe it'll be proven wrong. It turns out he did lay down one mine that's going to end up immobilizing something really important. Truck setting out there. But Harry finding around the center here, Jaeger's advancing variations there, definitely in some hot water, and will need to get out of there fast before they find themselves executed. But there you go. Steward to the rescue. We're heading out for far back at the base, need to move forward once more. Jaeger's taking a lot of damage. Mortar, Steward, there we go. Ralph got pushed back with the Sturmpionier and the Jaegers. Very close to it, feeling the Sturmpionier, giving them a nice offensive bonus. Needs to get that fuel point under control and deny it to Caosak, who's getting 39. He's almost getting 4 times as much fuel per minute than Paul.A.D right now, which is definitely terrible news for the Germans, in particular the Oberkommando West. Also in the car point here, really good disruptive play, machine gun outmaneuvered, looking really rubbish here for Paul. Needs to do something drastic here versus Caosak. Caosak, I would say so far, is playing a very aggressive and efficient game. Not too reckless, but at the same time, you know, not, you know, stalling in silly manners for something way too big. That's not going to help him a lot. Another machine in there for Paul.A.D. heading northwards again. Perhaps we got the machine in there that's going to artillery to flush out. So Paul.A.D. has now lost most of the map. This is great news for Caosak. Freedom and democracy, and pretty horrid news there for Paul.A.D. Needs to do something about this, and needs to do something about it fast. Needs to pull off some maneuver here, I think, that Caosak will not see coming. I need to make a big push and sort of catch Caosak in such an angle that he risks losing units, as he just has to concede a lot of ground. Major out there for Caosak. Can soon push from. We're going to head for Northern Fuel. But there you go. 50 cal's going to make this really tough for Paul. Without some artillery, or at least a larger scale assault here to clear out that one heavy machine gun inside the shed. So we'll have to see here what Paul.A.D. does. Line for on the way, so he's going for artillery, but needs support here to can push back. Line for gun slowing away. Jaeger's taking fire from the Stuart light tank. Ground Northern big 2 point with the Jaegers. Looking forward into the Lieutenant. Line for gun almost done. Switching angle again. Could possibly catch Caosak off guard. He's clearly not expecting this push so fast here. Sturm Puny again makes it thin as well. Very good, very good. Up north, it remains strongly defended. Caosak continuing going for the 7.6mm Sherman here versus Paul.A.D. and the Germans. There he goes for the regular Sherman. Not their fault, him. Pretty good in particular with the Bulldozer blade. It becomes fairly tough to crack for the Germans. Light infantry going out. Schwer Panzer Quarters really wants to set up soon. Again, he's going to go for a more aggressive setup here with the Schwerer Panzerhauptquartier. That said, needs to be mindful of both mortar fire, artillery fire, and of course anti-tank comes up so aggressive. There you go. Cav rifling from another side. It's going to require immediate assistance there. Could try and pop a concussive grenade with the Sturm parties, except to retreats, in which case, obviously not happening. Troops heading south for Serra for Jaegers. Line coming forwards. Up north, bit of maneuvering here as well by Paul.A.D. trying to take a bit more flexible here versus Caosak. Not a bad idea. Artillery fire from the Major, completely shouting the building and denying it to Paul.A.D. for all time. Really nice flank here with the Cav rifle, really disrupting any maneuver there by Paul.A.D. Any push. Thumbs up there. Lamp guns about to get cleared out. Machine retreating. Plenty of upgrades there for Caosak's infantry at the moment. City advantage for the south. Very good there. Then coming up, got veteran C1, 2, or veteran E2, 1 kill. Got the things that are wrong. Back hit reinforcing healing. Sherman racing ahead. Right, let's just do it. The Sherman is racing up north. There we go, Bulldozer blades, got smoked down there, 5 coming out, but there you go, train to mine, could be called here by the cabins that be huge, that said, heavy loss of the cabin crew means the German crew to quickly clear that out actually. Second one is all the way based in the south, going to move up to support the Jaegers against the Stuart there, so scattered anti-tank assets definitely rewards Caosak for more scattered armor assaults, unless of course hits a mine and, you know, gets unlucky. Almost got the Stuart there. Pressure, Schwer Panther Corps going out there for Paul. And then Authorized, he's not too far away from a Panther 4 now. That said, Caosak is not far away from another tank now. Still, could arguably worse here for Paul.A.D, but it's definitely not great either. He's certainly behind the victory points. His opponent's got a good chunk there. But he's definitely focusing on trying to establish a sort of the control zone in the center to make it harder for Caosak to move where he wants to. Northern point makes use of the rifle squad, and there go fresh push history into the new Rears needs immediately met by a volley of machine gun fire, but outcourt following them into the dirt as well. Schwer Panther Quarters there up, getting authorized. Fighting for the southern fuel point there now. Powercon charging the machine gun here, point blank range, and gets suppressed. Schwer Panther Quarters ready to fire again. The bazooka fires from the restaurants, and there you go. Point blank, Schwer Panther Quarters fire, rifle taking heavy damage as the third Zimmer flak tears into them without mercy. They're getting suppressed as well here. Sherman flanking from the north. Schwer Panther goes up. Shots obviously bouncing off the frontal armor. Voltage Jumper's going for the Sun Vector fuel plant there to keep it out of the American hands. Let's keep it German. But they failed. Closing on that Panzer IV. Caosak closing on another Sherman. Could of course also plan something a bit heavier. Thumbs up there, smoking the Jaegers to prevent the fire, but also just to keep the route squad on a point to contest it. Clever play there by Caosak. Clever. The southeast two was the Rakedenef getting into 2 there, but at the same time a bit out overwhelmed, flanking the Rakedenef. Jaegers moving forwards, machine pushing back, enforcing healing. Route squad almost taken out. Close call. Can't go for another Sherman, but again at this point my planning something slightly bigger. But there you go, Panther full model the other way there for Paul.A.D and the Panzerlehr Panzerdivision. Cameras running out there. Double machine gun sitting out there. May want to consider some orbs down for some more punchy infantry versus Caosak. A Stuart, they're taking it from the Rakedenef. Karav being slowly led out the Stumpini and the Jaegers. Got more smokes down here. Right tank from the north, Sherman in as well. There, Schwer punch force flying away, but needs more anti-tank support here. We are seeing the Rakedenef with precision. One has still been forced away. Sherman flying away there. Good hit on the Rakedenef through the smoke. Painful there for Paul. Painful. Does back to sector assault. So well timed. Could perhaps cause some heavy losses there for Caosak. Panther IV is on the move. Schwer punch force engaged, but the Sherman head on. There we go, finally going for another tank. It is the 7.61 Sherman, which does perform better versus the Panther IV molded gate. There we go. Paul leaving the pressure from Caosak, calls in sector assault. Jaegers moving forward, should be caught here, and there you go, heavy damage to the Sherman neck. Panther IV chucking it, crushing numerous riflemen. We're being hammered there by the Luftwaffe damage engine. Almost got the Sherman, almost got the Zook team on the flank, could cost him the Panther IV, which would be a huge blow there to Paul.A.D. Second Sherman almost done. Need support there to deal with the rear echelons. Jaegers need to get there a bit more aggressively. Mortar hit there, costing them damage to firing down, all taking out the echelons. Panther IV there almost finishes them off entirely. And the south point being seized here. Very good. Need to retreat that machine gun though. And more important, need to figure out that Panther IV fairly schnell here with this Ace Sturmpioniere. We got 271 to 466. 7.6 machine ready here for Caosak. Freedom and democracy. Going for more fault this is lost as previous ones. I'm guessing in part it's to get some Panther fast set to stay out vehicles, but I always would recommend some orbs down for some more punchy infantry at this stage of the game. Taking straight into the Panther IV's line of fire. Good hit, no Rakedenef's nearby, except the one that's there abandoned. Jaegers in trouble, Sturmpioneers there. Joining in, we got 21 kills. The 10 taking heavy damage from both the Jaegers, the Sturmpioneer, and of course the Schwerer Panzertransporters. Rakedenef on the flank, being flanked by the Stuart. We need to get like Rakedenef going. That of course might be planning to do with the Volksgun ideas. No pin munching on the Panther IV, bit of a minor sat by Paul.A.D, I would say there. Bit of a minor sat stood moving in, hitting from the Schwer Punch quarters. I think also looking to maybe bait away attention from the Panther IV from the infantry line, the counter doing forward. So that's a sinister move there by Caosak. Does seem to work here to a small degree. We got 271 to 449, tripping, forcing healing. Need to get that Panther IV fixed up schnell. Caosak is certainly not far away from a third Sherman arriving to assist his forces at the front line. Fixing up the Panzerkampfwagen 4 Asphalt Jod. Lieutenant Morty as the Jaeger squad. We've got 18 kills, veteran free. Major press by the new 4 in there. Got still called in to force it out unless Paul.A.D is not paying attention. He's not paying attention. Ach, Scheiße! Ludwig's entire thing's gonna collapse. We need to get out of. Splat. Also, the Schwer Punch was almost knocked out here. Really a lot of pressure on Paul.A.D. His situation has definitely, deteriorated now. And he's calling in additional armor to replace his losses, even both his numbers. So Either more flak half attacks or a mechanized regiment or another schwerpanzert quarters. Most of these options will be fairly expensive though. This is great for Caosak, really confers him a armoured advantage. He can just easily build up numbers now versus Paul.A.D, who really needs to like sharpen up his tactics here versus the Americans. Got the central flanking up here, 2 kills, closing in there 21. Panther turns around, there go, good hit though. And the Panther 4 meanwhile in return bounces off the Sherman frontal armour. And there go combined arms. Fiendish. Thumbs up there to Caosak. Gives both infantry and armour boost if they're close to each other. Really powerful ability when timed correctly. I mean, there's a reason they're actually nerfing it in the upcoming Baron's Commander update there. Great on this Sherman. Panther 4 they've actually 2. And there goes Sherman, knocked out a small one here for Paul.A.D. Sherman heading pretty from the camera still though. Good hit there, Stuart those flanking. Another shot away there for Caosak. Nice hit there, Panther 1 getting the Stuart. Accepted damn well, misses, but there you go, full squad Panther first it. Shot misses, Panther first off though. And the Stuart is down, another blow there to Caosak, but he still has armour advantage. Getting rid of 2 tanks is still pretty handy there for Paul.A.D, but needs to fix up that Panther 4 fast. Fresh wave of infantry for Caosak space, ready to lead onwards for democracy. Another 7 seconds German hereby for Caosak to help threaten Paul.A.D's Panzerwaffe. Rouse Squad Major Ming advancing straight for the southern field, put up north here, pumping seized by the mighty Volksgrenadiere. Fixing up that Panzerkampfwagen 4, Ausführung J with the Sturmpioniere Ace. An upgrade for them. You'd figure at least, yeah, we go for the support package, so that repair speeds. Not that he needs it for the minesweeper, since most American players never lay down mines, even when they should. So there you go, Panther 4 halfway fixed. We got 243 to 419. Panther 4 they're being pushed back into action. Paul.A.D cannot afford to wait here versus Caosak, and there we go. Another Sherman ready. Troops being up in the centre, Jaegers doing what they can as well. They got 22 kills, close to exiting 4. Raspberry caught it with the Panther 4. Still no pinlock machine gun there for Paul.A.D, by the way. Still no pinlock machine gun. Sherman then engaging machine crew. They're almost taking me out. There we go. Jaeger swap the next victim here of Caosak's armoured fist of freedom.
We're losing a capture point.
Jaeger's being bombarded. Then being hammered by the Shermans. And down they go. Panther shoots, whiffs. A staggering blow there. Loses one of his few remaining anti-tank SST versus Caosak. Of course, can just keep churning out Shermans. So the situation is definitely looking fairly dangerous for Paul.A.D. Fairly dangerous. Major rout in the south here. Jaeger's routed here by the echelons, and more importantly though, the cavalry rifle with the Thompson and Breeze guns. Panther 4 they're slowly approaching Mexican 3, and the increased rate of fire bonus it gets for that, which is obviously pretty good. Losses just keep piling up for the Germans. We got 206 to 419. Map control's not looking amazing. Line for gun there got hosed, leaving him without any artillery support versus Caosak, without recruiting at least. Mortar there's been a great investment for Caosak already, so of course 2 thumbs up to Caosak on that one. Really good for him, and certainly less good for Paul.A.D and for the Germans. Panther rushing northwards. We got another kill for Paul.A.D. Got the lieutenant down and watch for the bazooka behind the wreckage of a Sherman. Flanking there. Still not pinwatching there for Paul.A.D and his Panzerkampfwagen 4. They've got right control on the centre. Got the Sherman taking as well there. We got the 2 8 kills. Jaegers being engaged with the caravan and the Shem have a good chance of wiping. There you go. They're going to get a host plus a large on the flank force from Caosak. Really good executed push there. Thumbs up to Caosak. Jaegers wiped out. Just seeing finally, but he's just taking too much damage now. I think the situation spiraled out. And there we go. We get combined arms to further boost his forces, further make himself menacing. And there you go. Academy crew down. A complete collapse here. And Paul.A.D is forced to retreat here in shame. So there you go. GG, game over. A victory for Caosak. I would say nicely played match here. Paul.A.D had a bit of a rough start, but also I think struggled to adapt to what's going on there. And Jaeger, and while a nice idea, I feel like may not have been the optimal choice here on this map versus Caosak long term as well either. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. I learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment on it, tell friends, tell family, don't channel mates, and of course a big thank you to my Patreon supporters, without which this episode would not be possible. You too can join the ranks by pledging on Patreon. You can also just donate. All links in the description. This is Cheers. Thank you for watching. I'll see you all tomorrow again for a nice episode. Bye.